and I left. And all right,
Yeah, there
cool.
you go. Now it's recording.
I'll text them, and um, he's probably just in his meeting. And then if like we could just start without him, and he can answer some of the last questions, or ask the last questions. Um,
Is he in the meeting for work or for school?
for work,
Oh,
he said he'd be out by 11, so I don't. Maybe it just went over.
yeah, I say we just start, and then if he joins, he joins.
All right.
Yeah, that
Well,
works.
do you want to ask the first ones on all?
I need
You have the
actually I
last.
need to pull up that document. Sorry, you asked the first ones real quick.
Oh, yeah. No, I'll do the first ones. So, how do the values of Boston Children's Hospital align with the goals of your team?
Yeah, so I actually had to look up the values because I honestly didn't know them off the top of my head. So we have, I think, six. There's communication, respect, excellence, accountability, teamwork, and what's the other one? Innovation. Um, I'd say all six of these play a huge role in the goals of our team. Obviously, communication is a pretty important aspect to any team. So for us, we hold weekly check-ins, just both for obviously professional reasons and like mental health checks, really too. Just obviously giving project updates really allows our team to just stay on top of the work that we're doing, able to ask any questions to my manager or any of my peers, just to, in case if we run into like any roadblocks during our projects. And then obviously now with um, the majority of our work being remote, it's just so key to like check in on people, just like mental health. So communication obviously huge. Respect, pretty self-explanatory, I think. It's like golden rule, treat others how you want to be treated. If you're a jerk, like nobody wants to work with you. Um, so just obviously just be a nice person, I guess. um, the other two, excellence and innovation, I would say can be lumped together. Um, our team is kind of new. Um, so we strive to work, um, or I should say, we strive to put in like the excellent work. Um, how can I put this? Other teams can realize that like, oh, this is from our national business development team. This is like a very put together deck, a pitch deck. And I think to be excellent, you need to be innovative as well. So sometimes you might be running a report or anything, and there's like an outlier that you see. You got to do that like extra research to go above and beyond to explain the story behind the data. And then lastly, the accountability and teamwork. Everyone on the team is held accountable for overall success of the team. So with our team, like my team's just a two-person team. Right now, we actually just lost two of our other coworkers this year. So it's just super important for the both of us to hold each other accountable to complete some of the ongoing projects that we have. Um, and if either of us need to ask questions, we're just able to call each other up and kind of spitball ideas off of each other.
Cool. And then, so next
Probably a
question.
long-winded answer to your original question.
Oh, we like it because we got
Perfect.
Yeah.
more for our presentation and I'm saying, but Next one is, what steps does your organization take to build and maintain trust within its various teams?
So building trust, we start that just actually during the onboarding process. We don't really throw people to the fire right away. We want to make sure that these people that we bring in are um, comfortable with what they're doing. So there's a training piece that just allows um, our employees to just get comfortable with what they're working on, and we get to see some of their strengths. We get to see maybe some areas that they need to work upon. And so we'll start them off with smaller projects, smaller tasks, build up that trust to see like what they're cut out for. And then obviously that'll lead to bigger projects, getting more involved with some of our more strategic projects. And then maintaining that trust is obviously super important. I think it just goes back to the value of communication that we have. Just constant communication with your team can just really build up that trust.
Cool. Thank
I
you.
should probably tell you what I do, right?
Uh, aren't you, I thought I saw it on your email, but aren't you a strategic business development?
Yeah, so I'm a strategic and business development, our senior analyst. So what our team does, we focus on I guess you can call them collaborators or like potential partners. Um, and it's sort of business development where we're trying to like expand the presence of Boston Children's. So it's anything outside of New England is what we focus on. So we'll be working with like um, other hospital systems and maybe trying to form some sort of partnership or collaboration. And then it can also be any like medical practices, any MD groups that we try to reach out to send patients to Boston Children's.
All right. So next question, has there been a time when trust has been strengthened or damaged within your organization, and how did you and your team respond?
Good question. So I know I've made a few mistakes. So some of what I do, I put together some monthly reports that just go over some of our national performance. And so I know I've made a few mistakes in the past when putting together these reports. Um, it's like wrong data or anything. So that obviously damages trust. What you got to do is just kind of own your mistake, make sure you communicate the mistakes to the group that you may have sent the report to. Uh, Make sure you fix it, and then you just got to say, "I'll be extra thorough the next time I'm reviewing my work." Just got to have that kind of difficult conversation with your manager and say, "Yeah, it's never going to happen again." And you just got to show them going forward that your work is good and that they can trust you with the projects that you're working on.
And what steps does your organization take to ensure everyone's voice is heard?
So for our team, we hold like weekly check-ins twice a week. So it's Mondays and Thursdays. This allows our team members to just give updates on what they're working on, any projects. It's a good way to um, be able to ask questions if you ever run into any roadblocks. You can just ask your peers to maybe offer their help in what you're working on. And then obviously just being mostly remote is sometimes tough, and because you're on your own a lot. And so just being able to check in with some of your coworkers is just good, and you're able to hear their voices.
Perfect. Yeah, so I guess our next question is During high stress situations or deadlines, how does your team and others support each other to maintain productivity?
So what we like to do is set multiple deadlines. So you have just like your overall deadline of everything needs to be done. We like to do smaller goals that we like to reach. That helps to relieve some of that stress. Um, it's obviously nothing worse than saving your work for the last minute and just causing stress for you and for your team members. So, like I said, just setting some of those small goals helps you accomplish things and keeps everybody on track to complete your projects. Um, we also like to do whiteboard sessions for like our bigger projects. So that's like we'll get everybody in the room that's involved early on in the process, and we'll just start like spitballing things at the on the whiteboard just to see if we can come up with some certain ideas. It's a great way to like start projects and make sure everybody's on the same page.
Perfect. And during those meetings, is there ever a time where like there's a disagreement amongst you and your members, and like how do you come to a resolution?
I will say we haven't had too many disagreements, but I know let me come up with the so when I was probably 6 months into my job, we were identifying some of like the potential collaborators for one of our national projects. My coworker identified one potential group. I did the other. We both thought our groups were better than the other, so we put ourselves in a whiteboard session, weighed out the pros and cons of each collaborator. Um, my coworker was able to speak his uh, his concerns and perspectives pretty open with everything. We were able to ask questions off of each other, and um, ultimately we came to that decision of whose collaborator had more pros than cons, and that's kind of what we went with.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yep.
For our next question, can you provide an example of how Boston Children's Hospital changed the workflow that aimed to promote collaboration with your team?
Actually, we just ended up changing one of our workflows pretty recently. So major project that we're working on right now. We hit a few speed bumps, in part probably because there's too many cooks in the kitchen, just too many people involved. We have some of like our cross um, working with like multiple teams, so it's not just our team. And so the communication hasn't been great. And we were finding out about calls that we weren't involved with, and so it was kind of messy. And so my manager and I we've set up weekly communication meetings, just to make sure that everybody's on the same page. If there was one meeting that people weren't involved in, everybody's able to chime in and give their updates on what's going on, and it's just been tracking really well so far.
Perfect. You think that, so you saying it's been successful so far?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, very successful. I'm telling like we'd go like 2 weeks without hearing from something, and then we'd get in a meeting and it's like, oh yeah, we just had a phone call with these people yesterday, and it's like, well, it would have been great to know that this was happening. So just having that open conversation and open communication, uh super key. And the weekly check-ins have definitely been super successful. We're tracking pretty well now. It's everybody's on the same page, so it's been good.
That's perfect. And I guess lastly, how does your organization reward or incentivize productivity or company loyalty in the workplace setting?
Good question. It's so we're not commission based. I know that's like a great way to incentivize people, but we don't have that. And so we do earn bonuses based off of just like our team's performance. So if we're bringing in money, like there's a nice little bonus for us. So I guess that's a little bit of an incentive for us. Um, I know that I'm pretty sure the hospital will reward their employees with like company loyalty. If you ever hit like a anniversary milestone, they'll give you like either a gift card or think they give out some like BCH brand clothing kind of thing. So it's it's something, I guess. It's not really a reward or anything too cool, but it's something.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that's the end of all of our questions. So thank you
Okay.
for that. But this is just off topic. How long have you been working at Boston Children's for?
So I've been here for a year and a half. Um, I guess I'll give you a little brief background of what I've been doing. So after graduate, I ended up going to grad school at Bentley too after I graduated. Um, so that was a 2-year program. I was working at I don't know if you're familiar with Shields Health at all. It's a medical
Yeah.
imaging company. So I ended up working in their corporate office at the time, and I was there for a little over 5 years, and then COVID hit, and then they like furloughed everybody during COVID. And then they ended up letting go like 50% of the company, and I was one of them. And then I ended up taking a sales job for this company called Kindred. They do rehab hospitals, and so I would sell rehab hospitals to um, like hospitals, and we just set up shop in them. It's kind of crazy, super stressful. Nothing worse than like a 28-year-old kid, or I was 26 at the time, just like going into senior hospital administrators and being like, yeah, you guys should totally purchase like a $100 million unit. Like it was crazy. So I did that for a year and then I ended up getting a job at Children's. So it's been good so far. The I'll tell you, it's weird being all mostly remote. I only go in the office once a week. So that was different from Shields. Shields, I was there Monday through Friday, like 9 to 5. So it's
Yeah.
a little different.
Do you like the remote aspect, only going in once a week, or
I think yes and no. I think I mean I'm like a personal guy. I'm always like I was a guy that was just like go to desk to desk and like check in with people. It was very like communicative yeah, whatever that word. um just like making sure everybody's good. I don't know, the remote aspect of it, it's hard to like form strong relationships with people that you work with. Um Especially in like some of the job that I do, you have to like form relationships and be outgoing and like I don't know, it's sometimes hard to check in with people over Zoom 4 days a week. But it's great to just if you ever have downtime, you're just like I can just go to the kitchen and just grab whatever. I can make myself lunch. It's nice. I like that aspect of it.
Mhm.
Do you see you going fully back into the office, like being in person? Or
I don't think so. I really don't. I think the way that our job is set up, we don't really need to. It's not very necessary. I think that children's would probably like us to go back in the office every day since they have so much office space that's just not being used. So we don't even go into the hospital. We have our own building that's offsite, right down the street, and it's vacant for 6 days of the week. So I mean, they're just burning money with
Yeah.
locations that just aren't really being used. But I don't see us going back into the office fully from every day, which I'm fine with. It adds up. We got to pay for parking.
Oh,
oh
We have a
wow,
parking garage. So
they make you pay for parking there. I didn't know.
yes, yes, they do. Most places don't.
Yeah,
Most
that's
places don't.
kind of
But
weird.
bet that adds up too. Hmm.
yeah, it definitely does. It's like $25 a week
Yeah.
or $25 a day, I should say. But
Oh
it's
yeah,
only once a day.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's fine. It's all good.
Cool. So that was pretty much the end of our questions. So
Awesome.
thank you so much for meeting with us. We really
Of
appreciate
course.
it.
Yeah, I
Of course.
appreciate it.
Get to know
Happy
you.
to help out some fellow Falcons, of course. So good luck with everything.
All right.
Let me know if you
Thank
need
you very
anything,
much.
if you need any like clarification, or if you need to ask any more questions.
All right.
Perfect.
Well, thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. If you guys want to connect on LinkedIn too, shoot me a request.
All right. Yeah.
Maybe I can
We'll
help you
connect
out
with
if you ever
you.
need a job down the road.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I definitely will do that. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. Have a
Thank
good one,
you.
guys.
You
Yeah, have a
too.
good one.
Bye.